So here we have a cracked wind mirror on a Mercedes E-Class. Wonder how that happened. Well, unfortunately, I was responsible for this, but you have to see the silver lining, and I thought it'd be a good option or good opportunity to show you how to change the mirror in this sort of circumstance. Luckily, the actual mechanism and case of the wing mirror is fine, so it's been relatively cheap fix. Hopefully you enjoy the video. I ordered a new mirror from a shop in a parts store in Sharjah, and I watched a couple of YouTube videos on how to actually replace the mirror, and they all recommended getting one of these trim set tools so you don't break any plastic clips, and they're relatively inexpensive. So here we go. So I've just pushed the mirror outwards to get a better view. The first thing is to push along the bottom here to loosen the clips and just make it a bit easier to remove the case. Yeah, it's not an exact science, but you just have to try to finesse it a bit. The second step is to get this tool out and just undo the clips below the indicator there. You have to be a bit forceful, but not too forceful so as you don't break the clips. I had never done this before, but it was relatively easy with the right tools. As you can see, it does take a bit of careful pressing because I didn't want to do any more damage than that had already been done. So yeah, I'm just trying to be as careful as possible. I'm sure a pro would have got this off in no time, but I'm just working this whole seam, I suppose that's what you can call it, and just pushing that trim tool up where it can. And as you can see, the two parts of the case are now splitting up, so it should, in theory, lift off quite clearly, but there seemed to be an obstruction somewhere which I wasn't 100% sure what it was. So yeah, I'm doing a bit of investigation here, trying to pull it off.
A few moments later.
So after some more investigation, the culprit was this circular mirror here that's meant to be a blind spot monitor. Luckily it came off rather easily, and hey presto, the cover came off. Wonderful. So the next step is to obviously, as you can see here, there's like a port, and you just have to be careful to put the port back on, which helps with the indicator stalk, and it just has to fit in to that blue port that you can see now at the back of the mirror. There's these clips that are holding the mirror in place. There is a bit of a gap there, just signifying that there is some play there, but I'm just cycling through the different modes to make sure that the whole mechanism is still working, and it was working perfectly fine. So the next stop was to basically undo those pins and then remove the mirror itself. But unfortunately, something happened to my camera and I was not able to record that. So here's the finished product. The new mirror is installed, and I am just testing it to see if all the functionality is the same as with the original one, and it looks fine to me. The mirror is moving up and down, side to side, and it looks much better than that cracked mirror that we've replaced. So pleased with the results so far. So before we put the case back on, we have to make sure the connectors are attached in the right place. So these two small connectors here are for the demisting function. So I'm just putting them back in place. And then you'll see that there's this white one that wasn't connected to anything, so I'll just tuck it in underneath. I believe it's probably for blind spot monitoring, but this mirror doesn't have that capability, so it's redundant at the moment. The blue connector that you can see, it just attaches to the top of the case. It's for the indicator, so as long as we put it down straight, it should connect up absolutely fine. So here I am just trying to align everything so everything connects properly. So yeah, it's just a case of clipping it back in place, but you've got to be careful that the front lines up as well, otherwise you'll have to undo it and then redo it again. So yeah, it can be a bit fiddly. Here it is, good as new, all fitted and back together. Hope you've enjoyed following along the process. All the car needs now is a good clean and we're good to go. And the indicators are working too, which is a bonus.